All right, good morning. I'm Justin R Ramsey for Good by Jay. My client was P.J. Brockmeyer. He's a Washington County probation officer. Also, he's my chief at New Mountain Morris Police Department. We kind of got in a discussion, what to do with some of these troubled kids and adults that he has to deal with in probation. I said, just send them to boot camp. And he told me it doesn't work. I'm like, it can work if you do it right. So this is my proposal on basically how to fix it so they do it right. Is this little button thing doesn't work anymore? So anyway, the purpose of juvenile boot camp. It's an alternative to a detention facility. Obviously, it protects the public, reduces prison overcrowding, the juvenile correctional facility, punishes the offender, holds the offenders accountable, deters additional crime, and hopefully rehabilitates the offender. So why don't they work? Well, there's little or no effect on recidivism. They do what they do, go to boot camp, they get out, and they just do it again, months or a couple years later. The military atmosphere alone does not reduce recidivism and increases positive activities once released. Volunteering for boot camp is a means for shortening sentences, as in, if you go to the boot camp, we'll knock some time off the correctional facility. That doesn't work. There's also insufficient focus on offenders' re-entry into the community. There's also a lack of a standard boot camp model. Every boot camp is different. Nobody runs the boot camp the same. So the 6 key factors in the effective rehabilitation process. Education, obviously, education is obviously key. Community service, substance abuse counseling, whether it be drugs or alcohol. Mental health care. So most of these kids, they have mental problems, lots of them. Individualized case management. So it's not just a group, it's individualized. Kids have their own problem. And aftercare services. Probably the most important is aftercare services. So how to fix it? Many pounds ago, I was in the Marine Corps. I said, if you take that model of drone, that alone would work. Now, you're laughing, because you're saying it won't. And I understand your thought process. Statistics show and studies show that don't. So you add therapy in along with it. So you add cognitive behavioral therapy, which statistics show does work. Rational behavioral therapy, and cognitive therapy. So the therapies, the cognitive behavioral therapy, to break it down Barney style, it's basically kids saying, I am worthless, I'm not worth nothing, and teaching them saying, I am worth something, I have value. So it addresses the social emotions, behaviors, and thoughts. It treats moods, anxieties, personality, psychotic disorders. Develops skills for self-regulation. And then there's rational emotional behavioral therapy. It's a psychotherapy. It's not used a whole lot. It focuses on resolving emotional and behavioral problems and disturbances. Obviously, the kids that have these problems have a lot of emotional problems. And there's behavioral therapy. Distinguishes negative thinking and emotionality. It's kind of it's a role playing. It also goes back to the first one, where it's I'm worthless to I have value. Then there's cognitive therapy. Teaches how to identify negative thoughts that occur in setting situations. It examines their validity and replace them with reality-based thinking. So anyway, again, back to what I'm big on, and I think would work, and this alone would work, This is the military discipline, the Marine Corps model discipline. It develops quality citizens, holds individuals and the groups accountable, and the group polices their own. So one person screws up, the whole group either gets punished, so they don't fix the problem within the group. Develop good teamwork and skills, attention to detail, tear them down and build them back up the correct way, the right way. Teach them to respect yourself and for others. Obviously, very, very big on discipline. And the use of the chain of command, which is used in everyday life jobs. So I have a couple short videos here. First one is basically how it's run right now. Just an average, I guess. Hopefully this thing plays. I don't know how to do volume.
One of the first rules you're going to need to know is there's no talking inside our compound unless you are spoken to.
They are society's worst nightmare in the making. Most are drug pushers and users. More than a third like stealing, and a few are into setting fires.
Gentlemen, I am Lieutenant Taylor. I'm in charge of your training here at SITC, and I welcome you. First of all,
Most have a history as juveniles in trouble, and all are looking at time in the penitentiary. That's why they're here, because no matter how tough they think they are on the streets, they realize they're no match for what's inside the pen. And the courts agree, even believing that with training, most of these nonviolent convicts can actually lead productive, crime-free lives.
you volunteered to do 13 weeks, so this is your sentence that the court has given you. Gentlemen, this is not a day camp. This is a military-style boot camp.
And if you think it's funny, I'm going to tell you what. We can change your attitude.
A boot camp they must graduate from in order to
move on to something like this. Counting or field position, that's when you get third. Methods deployed, obviously population of male juveniles 13 to 17. The reason why it's just males, females don't really commit a whole lot of crime, unless you go on, obviously mix the two. Bad risk of that. The certain definition in this case is any arrest that results in conviction after 2 years after completing the program after graduation. And the ways to track it would be the juvenile probation office, and of course police records. Of course, you're still dealing with juveniles, some of that stuff will already get a hold of. Limitations, obviously you're just dealing with all male population.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
You have ethical considerations because you're dealing with juveniles. So instructors, even though they're yelling and screaming in their face, you still can't cross that line, i.e. you can't punch them in the face. Even though a lot of them probably still need it. Of course, a big limitation is the cost. Psychologists are not free, especially when you're dealing with 3 or 4 of them, specializing in each different area. So the impact, obviously, is an alternative sentencing for judges. Freeing up space in a juvenile correctional facility, acting as a deterrent. I don't think anybody really wants to go to a boot camp. That would be run by the Marine Corps model, unless you want to be a Marine, like some people when they're not that smart like me. Obviously, lower recidivism rates, limiting repeat offenders, or limiting repeat offenders limits crime, improves the quality of life in communities. It also opens up possibility for careers in the military that people never thought about before, kind of like me. I didn't join the Marine Corps until I was like 25, 26. Marine Corps and military in general was never on my mind ever. So ultimately, just these kids become productive members of society. Any questions for me?
Good night, ladies.
Comments, concerns, gripes?